consider what we owe to the few who saved the many is a comprehensive, not a particular task. The third anniversary of the Battle of Britain finds us remembering that grim period in many ways. By a merciful deliverance, we came through the savage ordeal. Not by man's hand alone were we given power to resist. Leading their people in a nationwide act of remembrance, the King and Queen attend divine service at St. Paul's. A moment when we give thanks to God for the success granted to the Royal Air Force, and in commemoration of the courage and devotion by all, whether in the forces, in civil defense, or in the factories, who helped to guard Britain throughout the prolonged air attack of the enemy. The chimes which ring today were still 3 years ago. They were to announce the invasion which never came, but had its portent in the skies over Britain. It's at Biggin Hill Aerodrome in a memorial chapel that we hear the voice of the Chaplain-in-Chief of the R.A.F.
We are here to dedicate this memorial, not in melancholy sorrow, but in glad and proud thanksgiving.
Group Captain Malan unveils the reredos and pays tribute to the dead and missing pilots of the Biggin Hill sector.
In thankful remembrance of the pilots of this sector from Great Britain, the British Dominions and Allied nations, who by their sacrifice helped to win a great victory, I unveil this memorial in their honor and to the glory of God.
The high standard of gallantry set by the Battle of Britain Airmen is flowering fully today. Here is the Commander-in-Chief, Fighter Command, Air Marshal Sir Trafford, Leigh Mallory.
Since the dark days 3 years ago, when the few defeated the many, Fighter Command has become a great offensive striking force. Its present strength is considerably greater than it was in September 1940. Besides which, Britain has built up huge formations, which have defeated the Luftwaffe in Italy and the Mediterranean. None of this would have been possible but for the major defeat, for it was a major defeat and the first Nazi setback inflicted on the German Air Force in the Battle of Britain. Today, the fighter pilots of Fighter Command are as eager to bring the enemy to battle as were the men of 1940. But today, they have to go out to seek him. The roles are reversed, but with this difference. The scores are still well in our favor, even when fighting over hostile territory. We have established, on the foundations laid in the Battle of Britain, complete air supremacy over the Channel and within fighter range over occupied Europe.
Battle of Britain Day sees a representative procession of heroes and heroines marching past the King and Queen outside Buckingham Palace. The men and women who fought through those hideous months in civil defense and factory and must ever share the victory. Those who fought the flames, and those who built the Merlin engines for the Spitfires and Hurricanes. The thousands who kept our communications open and essential services intact. The workers of 100 different trades who broke the heart of the Nazis by their dogged perseverance during the height of the Blitzkrieg. In the marching ranks are those who manned our anti-aircraft defenses, the gunners who planted that roof of steel over Britain. Then came the broad blue line of the Royal Air Force, men who bore the heaviest part in the struggle 3 years ago. Pilots of Fighter Command, United Nations airmen from every corner of the globe who halted the tide of German aggression, spread-eagled across the face of Europe. Few stories in our national history can outshine the splendor of our Air Force. It is this gigantic instrument which is tearing the heart out of Nazism and returning with tenfold interest the destruction which they launched against the civilized world. War, the Germans were sedulously taught, is a grand, ennobling exercise. How then are the bristles on the heads of the master race behaving now?